Give it to him for a good butt joke. I don't know when anyone mentioned butts, but Jones has something on his mind here.
Everybody here will give you a hug on your way.
I'm more like the type of put my finger in your butthole. That's the way we say I love you.
Oh, so
That's the way we say I love you.
Thank you for clarifying that, Jon Jones. Nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it, YouTube.
All right. So I guess the argument is that his steroid use made him gay in regards to Jon Jones.
Okay, because I've watched enough More Plates, More Dates to know that can be a thing. Okay, we're gonna watch this video, and we're gonna watch.
It's Dev Noodles. Did he act gay to Dev Noodles?
Many other videos of the rest footage where he accidentally leaks that he was there to meet HOMO people rather than homeless people. No one talks about this.
Can you not say homo on YouTube?
But we're gonna play some of it. There's a lot more evidence that I want to go through as well. A lot more evidence, more articles, more stories you may not have heard of as well. Okay?
Jon Jones denies homophobic slurs.
But I'm gonna play you this video first because I've been thinking this about Jon Jones for a long time. I've known that this guy's gay. Something, you know, you got a gaydar about someone, this guy's gay. I've known it. You know what I mean? I've been saying it. People have been calling me crazy. You're projecting. Then I saw this video I'm going to play to you guys right now. We're going to watch it together.
We will.
And we're going to listen to Jon Jones in a crowd of a comedy show, a small-time comedy show.
It's so funny that Dev Noodles went from being at the height of YouTube to being involved in this. It's a pretty dark fate. Maybe this will be his new claim to fame, exposing Jon Jones for being gay.
He probably doesn't even know it's being recorded.
Why does anyone care if any of these men are gay? Well, I mean, it's kind of interesting, but secondly, Jon Jones he posed himself as a very, like, tough guy. Like we saw it in the past there, people accused him of using homophobic slurs, so they see it as, like, is he projecting? Is that why he was basically homophobic, right?
Absolutely wasted drunk with his male friend that he refers to as a cutie and also mentions doing things with in certain regions.
No.
Okay,
No,
and also
no,
mentions,
no.
and also the comedian here even notices that Jon Jones puts his hand on the groin area of the guy sitting next to him here in the crowd. You can't see Jon Jones in the crowd. Let me know when you hear Jon Jones in the crowd.
Oh, thanks, you for bringing me up before riling up the drunk person. Great. So wait.
That's Jon Jones.
Sounds like him.
Now, I wasn't sure at first. People are telling me, dude, have you seen this video uploaded by a comedian? It's got no views, but on Reddit, people are saying it might be Jon Jones. And I was listening to this video and I was like, okay, there's a gay guy in the crowd. As soon as he started speaking, I was like, okay, there's a gay guy. Listen, I'll tell you when I figured out this guy's gay. No offense. Nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it, YouTube.
All right.
Are you? You're an audience member, right?
Uh-huh.
Are you a little drunk, I assume?
Un poquito.
Now, at this point in the video, when I watched it first, I was like, I don't know if this is Jon Jones. I know that he's gay. Okay? There's nothing wrong with it, YouTube. There's nothing wrong. But we're going to keep playing. Okay? Shout out Dev Noodles, the YouTube channel that uploaded this. You can see the name on the screen.
Major
right
shout
there.
out Dev
Shout
Noodles.
out to him.
The greatest YouTuber of all time. The GOAT.
And
the GOAT.
The discovery, let's just say.
Tito, I would say is
I want your hurt. I want a good white joke. Like I want a white joke. Give me the best.
I'll do
Oh, I want to give you the best. It's Jon Jones. We'll get confirmation of that soon, I promise. But he's absolutely blackout drunk, no idea what he's saying right now. Certain sentences are very clearly said by him.
Not just a gay guy, a black gay guy.
I want my friends to give me water.
Hey,
Guys, give it to him. Give it to him for a good black joke.
huh?
I was saying, guys, give it to him for a good black joke.
Give it to him for a good butt joke. I don't know when anyone mentioned butts, but Jones has something on his mind here. And we'll go deeper into this. Okay? Pause.
Some man ass.
Give it to yes. Everybody give it to me right now. So wait, how did you actually stumble upon this place? Are you like just blackout drunk?
Well, my cutie over here was just the resource of everything. That's awesome.
By the way, that's
the
a
resource of
man
everything that's
that he
awesome.
sat next to. His cutie over here is a man that's been with him tonight.
No way.
That let's just say Jones begins to get a little handsy with in the crowd around the groin area.
Do we have like picture or video of that or someone talking about it?
This explains everything of Jon Jones that we know. Share this!
All right, turn you down a little bit.
No more confusion. Why does he do this? Those demons in his head, they ain't demons. They're haram thoughts to Jon Jones. okay? They're not quite kosher thoughts that he's having. They ain't demons that are making him angry when he gets drunk, or demons that are making him angry when he has to spend time around his wife.
Fighting the gay demons
that he needs dick pills for. We move on. Keep it playing. Just a casual thing. I'm projecting. Jones is just comfortable in his sexuality. We keep going.
Are you sure this is alcohol or is it?
Like, they're noticing how drunk he is. He's absolutely wasted. No idea where he is. Probably
Some people also act gay when they get drunk. I mean, probably not if they're all not already gay, right? I mean, there's also a difference between acting gay and like going to a club on a date with a man and presumably having gay sex or something.
Gambling with his eyes closed right now.
Is this what you do for a good time? No, honestly, I'm trying to find the amusement in it, and you guys have been awesome.
Can we all hug
honestly, none of you guys have been funny so far.
Huh?
None of you guys have been funny so far.
Oh, yeah. You know, thanks. I appreciate the person who's drunk out of their senses thinking we're all funny. That's great. So wait, how did you, I mean, what has your evening been like? You went to El Compadre or just roaming around town?
Well, it's just being that dude, you know? It's just being a lot of work.
Just being that dude, beating that dude. Maybe you just had a fight recently before this. Just being that dude.
It's a lot of work.
You work like this? You still work?
LA guys.
How do I get your job?
Listen to what Jones is about to say. While this guy's shouting him, Jon Jones is going to profess how fond he is of LA guys. Let's have a listen. This could mean anything though, right? Have a listen. You LA guys, listen to Jon Jones's voice, single it out in your ears.
LA guys.
How do I get your job? Work like this? You still work?
LA guys.
How do I get your job?
I'm obsessed with it because
I'm obsessed with
You
them?
LA guys, I'm obsessed with you because...
Whoa.
Just keep it playing.
it's amazing. It's been showing me that it's amazing.
What,
That's
LA?
amazing.
Yes.
Are you from LA?
Where are you from, random homosexual
Whoa.
man in the crowd? Let's find out if this is Jon Jones.
New York guy, but like.
He's a New York guy. Well, Jon Jones is a New York guy.
You're in New York?
But that's too broad, right? A lot of people in America are from New York. Maybe someone there
True.
sounds like Jon Jones.
Okay.
Albuquerque this last few years.
Been living in Albuquerque for the past few years. But Jon Jones lives in Albuquerque, and he was originally from New York. But that's not right. Real Jon Jones would say he's from Rochester, New York.
Where are you from in New York?
Rochester. I'm a northerner.
Oh, it's Jon Jones,
shit.
guys.
Yeah. That's it.
Anyway.
Yeah, I love it. People say, I'm from New York. Where are you from? Long Island.
No, honestly, though, like all jokes aside, you guys have been amazing. It's so healing and just.
Thank you.
You guys are amazing. So healing.
Just so healing.
There's no way, bro.
There's nothing wrong with it, YouTube admin. I just want to uncover something that explains
Cap.
so much of this despicable... No! He's not despicable for this reason, okay? There's other things this man has done that are despicable.
He's so afraid.
This internal hatred
He's
for
afraid to
himself
say the wrong thing.
may be the answer to it, okay? That's all I'm going to say. This has just been so healing. As a gay man, just being honest with you guys.
Being arrested for domestic violence.
I can promise everybody here will give you a hug on your way out.
Everyone here will give you a hug on the way out. Synapses.
Whoa.
Jones liked that idea, but it's not enough for him. A hug is not enough. What would Jones rather people let him do to them on their way out of the comedy club?
Release more merch. I forgot to buy it. Well, you got owned. It's not my fault, bro.
Nowhere.
I'm more like the type to put my finger in your butthole.
I'm
gonna put my finger in your butthole?
my finger where?
Wait, whoa. Hold on.
I'll put my finger in your
We just made some very
Thank you for clarifying that, Jon Jones.
important. You're talking about finger in your balls?
finger in the butthole.
Oh, finger in the
A whole
butthole.
black finger in the butthole.
Is that how they do
Explicit. Weird. What? No one asked.
it in Rochester?
That's how they get down. That's the way we say I love you.
Oh, it's
That's the way we say I love
Rochester?
you.
There's awkward energy here. There's very awkward energy here. Everyone's like, is this guy coming out in the audience? Are we like having this guy come out to us while drunk? Sorry, I'm not throwing up. I literally had to burp there. Are we seeing this guy come out to us in the audience right now?
By the way, Mike, I saw.
See what he just saw there that he noticed earlier? He points over. He's noticed something that happened between the guy sat next to Jones and Jon Jones.
I mean, it seems like Jon Jones is definitely gay. Apparently, Jon Jones responded to him. Jon Jones responded to me. Andrew Tate joins him. The gay goat exposed.
Well. It looks like Jon Jones woke up today and decided that he wanted a part 2, baby!
Crazy that we live in the world where influencers can persuade the minds of the boys on the internet. Literally, some random loser with a microphone in his basement. People can just say anything they want these days. I find it fascinating. Correction, they lie by omission. They admit all the evidence against their narrative. Now here's 99 pieces of it. Find one which somebody supports their bullshit. amplifies it. Peasants who fear the arena never enjoy the shade of an olive tree. Their hearts are poor. Andrew Tate's probably going to jail, by the way. Just a little bit of a note there. Goddamn. Def Noodles made a video about this, I guess. What was Def Noodles' video? Def Noodles, Jon Jones. The night Jon Jones heckled me. Vlog 2.
I didn't want to talk about this, but more and more people keep talking about it. The video keeps getting more views. Over to a comic who was sitting there next to his girl, and he was touching him in ways that were not appropriate. And I was surprised because the comic is bi. So he was like trying to move Jon's hands out of the way, but Jon like kept reaching over. And that's why I mentioned what I said on stage. When I got up on stage eventually, I said, well, you know, it seems like you're touching Mike. That's his name. You don't Mike. Mike you, you know. Anyway, I finished my set, get off stage. The lights come up. And
Andrew Tate said he'd rather get together with a trans woman than a masculine woman. Yeah, that's the clip where he's like, what do you think's more gay? If you f a woman who looks like Hulk Hogan or a man that looks like, or a man that looks like Megan Fox or something? That was basically his argument.
I recently posted a question on Twitter asking, would you rather have sex with a transsexual, which is a legitimate 10, or a woman, which is a legitimate 1? And everyone's sitting there clicking woman, 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 because they think they're going to be gay if they do anything else, but they're not actually thinking about the question. I am so smart. I operate on so many levels higher than the average man. You people are not thinking about the question. When I say a 1 and a 10, I mean Megan Fox with a d, that's the tranny, or Hulk Hogan with a p, that's the girl.
Jon is actually chatting with everybody and shaking hands and being very nice. I still didn't recognize him. I'm a UFC fan, but I didn't watch during the Jon Jones era. I'm Brazilian, so the recognizable faces for me are Royce Gracie, Vitor Belfort. But all that aside, Jon was very nice. He was very nice after the mic. He chatted with a bunch of comics. He went to high-five me, and I high-fived him back, and he did this with my hands. And I was like, okay, this man has some big hands. And then he left. And one of the comics walked out with Jon, who was very clearly very intoxicated. And then that same comic came back and was like, bro, that was Jon Jones. And everybody was like, oh, yeah, that was Jon Jones. And that's when a lot of people started noticing that it was.
Wow. So Jon Jones is cheating on his wife with the New Zealand women in comic. Interesting. Very interesting. Def Noodles himself has been kind of down bad recently. I don't know if it's his real Reddit account, but somebody sent me a Reddit account claiming that it's Def Noodles. And it was pretty sad to read through. It was pretty dark, honestly. It was him talking about having a very rough time. Def Noodles real Reddit. This is a Reddit profile that supposedly is his. And we can see the comments here are pretty dark. I am a manipulative, attention-seeking. Help me, guys. I'm a manipulative, attention-seeking. I can't help myself. I'm addicted to attention. I need it all the time. I don't know who to turn to fix this. I'm starting to become like Boogie2988 minus the fat. Thank goodness. Please, if anyone has any source of advice out there, please help. I don't know what to do with myself and I feel awful now that I realize this. No, this is real. At least I'm not fat. Also, don't care if people like me or not. People liking me never actually put money in my bank account. So I guess he just wants attention. I think I'm going to kill myself. I don't see any other way out. No, I wasn't. I hated myself more than I hate myself now, and that's all that really matters. I hated myself so much I tried to kill myself 3 times in the last 2 years. I did Irrelevant News. Since I ended Irrelevant News, I only tried to kill myself twice, so that's an upgrade. Jesus. I don't want to justify any of the mistakes. I made all of them. They're all my fault. I'm not going to pretend or blame anyone else other than myself for what I did. That would be dishonest. That's why I often think I'm just irredeemable. Because since everything happened, I looked at everything in hindsight. I myself can't see how someone in good conscience could forgive me for what I did. It's really depressing for me, and I honestly don't know how to fix it. I've just resigned to the fact that there's no fixing. It's all my fault. No one to blame but me. I mean, you're never beyond redemption, Def Noodles, in my opinion, unless you're, you know, like a file or something, which you're not. So you're never beyond redemption, bro. You just got to make good videos and not lie about people or slander them. That's it. That's really it, bro. Very, very sad comments. I'm suicidal. I struggle with severe depression and constant ideation, have for years. I'm currently in the process of getting help. My family and friends are helping me do this. I can see how it could be inappropriate to share some of the stuff in the manner which I've been sharing, but sometimes I just don't know how to ask for help. I've been dealing with this for years, and I really don't know how to deal with it anymore. Every day I've been here has been a victory for me, so yes, I'm grateful I'm here now writing this message for you, because I'm in my darkest moments, I'm actively planning how to not be. I apologize if a lot of this is shocking or trauma dumping, but I've held on to it and tried to ignore it for so long that I now think it's just reached such a breaking point where I can't really pretend that this isn't a thing and just use work as a distraction. That worked for a while, but wasn't a real fix. This person says, you just lied to everyone in this Reddit. Baiting for attention is disgusting and actively damages the discussion about mental health and real S people. Damn. It's very sad, you know. No matter what he did, he doesn't deserve to feel like he wants to end himself. I passed the Uber inspection. I can start driving Uber now. There was some comment he said he was bleeding like $30,000 a month, and I was just shocked. Like, where are those expenses going to? Like, how are your monthly expenses $30,000 a month? Is that business expenses, or is that for the comedy club, which I assume is expensive to own? Or Is it just personal? Like, do you have like a crazy apartment and a crazy car? Like, how does that work? I need advice though, because I posted several apology videos, some as far back as a year ago, and I don't know what to do. I was genuine back then, and I'm still genuine now, so I'm genuinely so confused how I can make something can actually convey my feelings. I'm so lost. You just got to make good content, dude. That's really all there is to it. They're unlisted. I enlisted a lot of my content a few months ago to clear my social media footprint a bit to try and get a traditional job, but it didn't help much.
Oh, hello, folks. Hope you're all doing amazing today. I don't know if you noticed, I'm not in the studio right now. I'm currently traveling. Where? I'm in San Diego now. Anyway, I have been thinking about making this video for the last few months. Been thinking about how to approach the situation, what to say, and I've been reflecting.
After watching the stand-up comedy he did, it just makes you feel really bad for him. I mean, I feel bad for him if he's feeling suicidal. That's pretty dark. He got to such a size with the grift when he stopped at Tank because so little of his audience was there for anything else. Yeah, that's a big problem. Attempting because you're not getting online attention. Yeah, it seems like he has a mentality that his life is only valid if he's getting attention online, which is a very dark place to be. It's a problem a lot of YouTubers run into, where their validation as a person comes from how much attention they're being given online. And like, the interesting thing about what he said is it wasn't necessarily negative or positive attention he cared about. It was just like, he just wants any attention at all now, basically.
On the events of the last year with my therapist and my friends and family, and needless to say, a lot happened. 2022 was a very eventful year for me, especially the latter. And I can say without a shadow of a doubt that there are a lot of the decisions that I made in the second half of 2022 that I would take back in a heartbeat. I have a lot of regrets.
He got a lot of with the whole commentary community. Nick DiOrio, I think, made the best video about Def Noodles from what I remember. But honestly, I don't remember all of the drama that was in it. His main channel, If I Lied, that's a fire thumbnail. I don't remember everything that was in this. He made a few videos. The Def Noodles Iceberg Explained, the worst commentator. I kind of want to watch this video to refresh myself on what he did, because I remember he's like slandered James Charles, and I want to say Keemstar, and then I think Keem was suing him, probably. I don't remember everything that happened, though. I don't remember all the lore.
Okay, by now I'm sure you're already well acquainted with Def Noodles. Over the course of last year, Def Noodles, whose real name is Dennis Feitosa, has become a budding lolcow.
I remember he was calling all of us, like me, Augie, Nick, fascists. I remember that was a big thing.
In the commentary community. Today we're going to embark on an...
Didn't H3 drop him pretty harshly? Yeah, I think he did. For a while, Def Noodles was seen as like the golden boy of the H3 channel. Ethan doesn't want to talk about Def Noodles.
Also, sign up, please talk about Def Noodles. I don't want to talk about Def Noodles, you know. The dude's been getting like absolutely dogpiled by everybody. I'm not going to do that.
I mean, I think at the time it was deserved. I think Ethan means well here, but usually covers topical internet drama. The dogpiling thing has never stopped him before, with Dark Viper or 100 other internet celebrities that have been getting backlash for various reasons. Sometimes justified, sometimes otherwise. Don't want to talk about them because he's always kissing up to Ethan. He should talk about it considering he gave Def a platform. Also, the stuff Def is doing isn't like a racist tweet he made 10 years ago. This is current real-time. Def is literally doing what Keemstar did a few years ago. Why does he not care? Def isn't as big of an asset as Ethan thinks. Criticism is fair and it's not dogpiling. Papa Gut doesn't deserve Ethan turning his back on this one. I feel like he probably should have talked about it. I guess did he just drop him and never really talk about it past that point? Or am I just missing the clip here? Because I honestly don't remember what he had with Def Noodles.
Excavation, and leave no stone unturned in the deep dive that people have been seemingly requesting for months. Before we take the plunge, I'd like to reiterate a familiar deterrent. The harassment disclaimer that I place in my videos, in my descriptions, and in my channel bio are not algorithm fuel, and they don't exist to quote-unquote cover my ass. I genuinely mean it when I say that I don't encourage nor support the harassment of any of the subjects of my videos. In this video, I will be giving my opinions about someone that I am not shy about admitting I heavily dislike. If you're looking for a charitable, historical retelling, there are other channels who have created that. You won't find that here. If you're a member of the audience who's used to watching my more retrospective content where I hold your hand and walk you through it, you may wish to sit this one out. If you're unable to comprehend the difference between an opinion stated and the supplementary factual evidence used to support that statement, once again, you may wish to sit this one out. But without further ado, let's begin.
Remember the 2019 DiOrio Keemstar vid? Yeah, that was over Keem doxing Just Destiny, right? Or Maury was his name. Not the Destiny, a different, his name used to be Just Destiny, and he changed his name to Maury. Yeah.
So Def Noodles is a YouTube.
I think that's around the time that me and Nick met.
Who, to be quite honest with you, is not really one of my favorites.
Quite easily the worst commentary channel on YouTube.
This guy has just had it coming.
And there's numerous examples you could grab of this guy just slandering other content creators on Twitter.
You're just asking for trouble. One of these days, I'm calling it right now, Def Noodles is gonna make a statement like this about someone who is
This is back when we were all on decent terms with Tipster. Pretty funny. He was put here as like a good take. Yeah, Digital Apple. I already watched that like Supdog video. It was a bad video.
Isn't gonna f around, and he's gonna end up in a fucking courtroom for a defamation case.
Absolute garbage fire. He's admitted to taking me out of context multiple times before, and this guy is trying to settle some little score with me.
There's a reason why I wear these, because I'm actually playing a cat.
The Def Noodles YouTube channel was created on
too.
October 13th, 2018, and hit its stride pretty quickly as he grew to 500,000 subscribers in approximately 2 years. This is a pretty big accomplishment, and that's probably the
Did he really get 500,000 in 2 years? Was it that quick? Because that's so many subscribers, dude. How's his channel doing now? He's still got 500,000. I assume he's lost a bunch of subs. We'll check view stats and see how his channel's doing now in retrospect. Because this video was made when he was at like the height of his popularity. Ooh, he's lost 1,000 subs this month. He's only gotten 200,000 channel views. I mean, that's not horrible if you're a small channel getting that many views, but if you're a channel as big as his, that's abysmal. Ideally, I think a good metric of if you're doing well on YouTube is if the videos you're making are generally reaching half or more of your audience, I would say. Because if you're an older channel, you can't expect the entire everybody to be engaged, right? But if monthly you're getting like a healthy amount of views, like okay, let's say you have 1 million subscribers and you're getting 10 million views monthly, that's pretty good, right? You're reaching a lot of people. But if you've got 1 million subscribers and you're reaching, you know, 500,000 views monthly, that's not that good. And if you got 500K and you're reaching 200,000 people monthly, and it's for spamming out videos, I mean, if you actually look at the videos, they're getting like what? Some of them aren't even cracking 1,000 views, you know? 170 views, 936 views. It's pretty dark, you know? You can still feel bad for the guy. It's not that he doesn't deserve his fate, but you can still feel bad for him and be like, what a f***ed up position he's in right now, because he is in a super f***ed up place.
The only compliment that I'll pay him in this video. My first exposure to Def Noodles was through a commentary YouTuber known as Cavos, who used
Zero to feel bad for. I mean, you can have empathy for the fact somebody's in a bad situation while also affirming that it's their fault they're in that position, right? I think these are two different things. It's okay to be like, listen, your actions are the reason you got there. You don't deserve forgiveness, but at the same time to say like, you know, I still kind of feel bad for this guy. If anyone's down in their luck, it feels bad to see them in a bad place, you know, unless they personally wronged you, in which case sometimes, you know, or they're just so despicable, you're just like, okay, well, this guy, who cares?
Used to do a show called Make or Break. It was essentially a live stream game show where audience members would submit their channels through donation, and Cavos would review said channels by being brutally honest. A young aspiring creator named Def Noodles was entered into the show through either his own hand or one of his fans, and Cavos was not kind.
He's like trying to catch up. What, is he not even edited this? Is this just like some random video he's found?
In fact, Def Noodles...
Look, for Cavos is an interesting dude. I think he deprioritized his YouTube stuff at some point because he basically gave up his entire personal life for it, and it hurt some people, which, you know, I'm sympathetic to that. But to me, the era when Cavos was the GOAT was not when he was blowing up off the Jake Paul videos, because you guys probably remember, he had a video with like 20 million views at one point, which is not up anymore. But he had a video with 20 million views going after Logan Paul for the Forest thing, right? But the golden era of Cavos is when he was calling out commentary channels like I'm Alex and Wild Spartans. These videos were epic. These videos were awesome.
Many of you know,
he made like content cops on commentary channels.
I'm Alex too. No? Wait, who's it? Oh, Wild Spartans. Many of you may know Wild Spartan. I'm sorry for that confusion. It's just, he's so incompetent. He can never think of his own video ideas. Now, I promise I'm not pushing the boat out here. I'm not pushing the boat out. He really does just make the same videos as I'm Alex. I know they're pals, but just because you're friends doesn't mean your YouTube channels have to look exactly the same. It's pretty ridiculous considering Wild Spartans calls people out on their content all the time.
Her content's also god awful. Your content's god awful.
Yet his content, in the words of Wild Spartan, is abysmal.
Her videos are abysmal.
I really did think it was like a mistake. It's a little mistake he made, so I was like, I won't include it. But no, after watching a few of his videos, I genuinely think Wild Spartans thinks the word abysmal is pronounced abysmal.
His acting was abysmal.
So it's obvious that his...
The interesting thing about Wild Spartans since then too, because this guy used to be in the community back in the day. He totally just left and just blew up off of like Reddit reaction videos, and they blew up. I mean, these are not the best example. These are not that popular, but if you scroll back a little bit to like, I don't know, I think he deleted all his old commentary videos. Yeah, he did. But these videos were killing it. He used to just sit in a call with like Quite and just watch videos.
Let's go, honey. My life.
This is gonna be
Diesel, Wild Spartans, and Blues Day. Pretty sure none of these dudes are pals anymore.
Of course, Diesel's typing his quote of the video.
No. I'm actually eating peanuts right now, okay?
Then why are you telling me you have nuts in your mouth?
Because they're nuts.
And these videos did crazy. He blew up. And now he was pretty good at the YouTube game. He runs like a few different channels. He has this one called Spattens, where he makes like really short commentary videos. Like they're like a minute long. Like we covered this girl the other day, right?
So there's this YouTuber named Caroline Consnar, and I was not familiar with this person until this story blew up.
It's like brain rot commentary.
I think a lot of people who are mad about this haven't really watched either video. In the first video announcing her pregnancy, it seemed somewhat real. And then recently she made a video saying she lost the baby, but the baby never existed. And I really thought I was gonna have an issue with this in some way, shape, or form, but I gotta be honest, guys, I don't see the problem. Yeah, this whole stunt was to promote her Patreon, but it's not like this is a family vlogger who is faking.
It's like very annoying brain rot content, to be honest with you.
Pregnancies on a regular basis. And the I lost the baby
the voice is just, he sounds like Lotam. It's just a little much for me. It's just a little much.
Video has some pretty good commentary on the attachment people develop with content creators because of things like pregnancies. I just don't see the issue because it was clearly something that was thought out and had a point. If this was just for views and promoting her Patreon.
And he has like another channel too. Like there's like Spattens.
Hello, boys.
There's Wild Spartans and then there's Spat.
If you're aware,
I don't even know what this one is. This one's like gaming. Helldivers 2 is insane.
Do you want to go to the Terminids or do you want to go to the Automatons?
I want to go to the Terminids. I want to kill Terminids.
Terminids? Okay, we can go. There's a sector that's 65% liberated. You don't want to go to Turing. Turing's pretty far along.
It'd be funny just to go to the one that has like no progress.
Is this sped up? It's 1.25.
I want to know
it
if
is
there's like
sped
a
up.
difference.
I'm confused. So like.
But you can see he's had a very interesting history on YouTube. I remember all these guys. Back in the day, bro. Back in the day.
Noodles responded to this stream in an extremely aggressive way on his channel shortly after.
I know it seems effortless, but it took me years of training. It really did. And if you think it's easy, then I challenge you to make a similar video so I can, I can see it. And
I hate the art commentary community. I don't want to watch any of it. I hate it.
Have more videos like mine, honestly. I wish more people did videos like mine. So
if there was like a short video explaining it, I would, but all their videos are like 5 hours long. Not that there's anything with wrong videos. Or sorry, not that there's anything wrong with long videos. I like making long videos, but I just don't particularly care about what they talk about in these long videos. So unless there was a video that was like 4 minutes fucking long, I wouldn't watch it.
we would be having more fun with content instead of ripping each other apart. Like, we're all creators, you know what I mean? I wish that
we're all creators. Where you make commentary videos, we're all creators.
we were building each other up instead of tearing each other apart. But I appreciate a lot of the criticism that he's presenting here.
Look, I get
your entire bit is on people and reacting to things. This is so dumb.
Tired of the YouTuber can't take criticism argument as much as the next guy. It's one of the oldest and most lukewarm common critiques that get levied these days, and I usually try to leave these out because honestly, I think people get tired of hearing the same formula of commentary video. However, I actually have to make an exception here. This situation was so egregious and
keep in mind when this video was made, this is pre-critical on him. This is pre like Salvo Pancakes going to his event or whatever. This is like before all of that. This is just when he was making commentary videos. This is before the real comedy club era.
Noodles is so pathetic that I just have to let this one play out.
Why is Nick big boned? Because he gets excited about ordering getting free IHOP on Uber Eats. That's why.
Guys, today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm just going to have a conversation with you guys because especially after yesterday's video, I got a lot of feedback. A lot of you guys thought I wasn't being my regular self. I wasn't being like super excited and just animated about how I was reacting. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you guys. I've just been kind of sad over the past few days, ever since that whole thing with Cavos, where he basically tore my channel apart.
I have never in my time seen a YouTuber make a video contemplating quitting YouTube because they were critiqued in a game show. This really is a good starting point and really showcases the kind of person we're dealing with here. These days, and hundreds of thousands of subscribers later, this drama with Cavos still bothers Def Noodles. In fact, he's let his clear bias show.
Vienna, stop spamming my chat, bro. Yeah, I know Nick got unbanned. Why do you have to spam me? Goodbye.
As he's attacked Cavos for using the F slur in 2016, and he took Deji's side in a cowardly defamation suit against Cavos. Just for note, if Cavos' homophobic slur from 2016 is fair game, so is Def Noodles contemplating
Red Bar. I don't know a lot about Red Bar. Did Red Bar talk about like Dev Noodles a lot? Red Bar, Dev Noodles. I know like who he is roughly. I know he has like a show where he shits on comedians. Oh well, full context and lore. So he's done a lot of content about this dude. Red Bar vs. Def Noodles 10-minute cut. Stand-up comedians attack audience.
Def Noodles, basically, he's been around for a little bit doing his stupid commentary.
Gained a lot of popularity during Frenemies.
So Def Noodles started doing what Keem.
I like Red Bar's voice a lot. He has a good voice, undoubtedly. Powerlifter versus bodybuilder, which you prefer? I don't fucking know. How am I supposed to answer that? That's a very gay question. Powerlifter versus body? I don't know. Just lifting is good, I guess. I don't know. though.
And he started posting internet drama. Every day it was 100 updates on Instagram and Twitter. Him and Ethan started buddying up.
I like Dennis. He was a homie, you know.
Ethan,
This is a very good edit, whoever made this. This is an excellent edit.
And Gila and Trisha during Frenemies, they started covering a lot of drama. They started attracting an audience that they never wanted. And this audience was the beauty community. Okay? And this beauty community.
Not the only time Ethan's attracted an audience he didn't want. I mean, like with the Hassan audience, right? Who was who was like on Hila Klein saying that she was killing Palestinians, saying that she's like a murderer.
Had gone from creator
What do you drink when you work out? Pre-workout.
to creator. As they would tire of them, they would turn on them. And Trisha
Well, I drink
kind of
pre-workout before, but I drink water while I work out. No offense, Thomas, the Def Noodles haircut. I definitely do.
brought this world into Ethan's. So Def Noodles became involved with the H3 universe. And like I said, he would never
Oh, he went on a show in person? I didn't even know that. Wow.
cover Ethan's crimes. So I reached out to him, remember? At this time, my big plan was if we could get Def to turn against Ethan Klein and report
He's like a master manipulator.
all
He's
the
a puppet
heinous things
master.
I'd seen Ethan get in trouble for week after week, we could really turn
On
the
fart,
tides
yeah.
on the Kleins. So I pretended that I was here as a...
The thing is, I don't think you can ever fully turn the tides on the clients as long as they're entertaining. Because whatever you want to say, you know, they are relatively funny, and that's why they have the audience they do. You know, I don't think people like the virtue signaling. I don't think people like I don't think a lot of, at least some people like the virtue signaling. I don't think a lot of people like the virtue signaling who have left the channel. I don't think people like when he tried to have that girl from Fresh and Fit on to basically accuse Myron of sexual assault. I don't think people like that. But I think what they do like is the show in general. I think they find Ethan to be a likable guy, and that's why the channel still gets pretty good views. I know it's losing subs every month, but he's still getting look at this. 800,000, 1 million views on a podcast, on a 3-hour long podcast VOD. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, dude. Like, they are doing well, undoubtedly. Who even watches Red Bar? The guy's whole thing is hating on people. I mean, isn't that just what commentary channels are? A lot of people's thing is hating on people. I mean, he has an audience, I assume. My understanding is he mostly makes money through his website, but there's definitely people who watch Red Bar and like his stuff. That's why I get people in chat who are like, Red Bar is watching, right? He has a certain amount of audience that definitely like him. He's treated like a legend. Like which I don't totally understand because I don't watch his stuff, but I feel like he's treated like a legend. People are like, oh, Red Bar. Almost in the way that like Sam Hyde or someone like that is treated, like, don't fuck with Red Bar, you know?
friendly, right? And I talked to Def and I said, this audience they've cultivated, the audience that is now your main audience. This is the beauty community. Be very careful with this beauty community and be very careful around the clients. Every week I would see Def Noodles not reporting on the crimes of the clients. And I would send him examples of this audience.
Whoa, did he send him all of that? He did like a Dark Viper DM chain based on.
Turn on. Cut to now, that audience has fully
Yeah, they did.
The other driving force.
This is the problem. I think it's okay to call out people for things on YouTube. I think it's okay, but not everything has to be a super serious issue. Not everything has to be blown up like Def was doing with like canceling people for making old edgy tweets. And also, the problem is when there's a slow drama week, what Def would do is he would kind of fabricate a story, and then he would be like, "Oh, it was just comedy." The story about James Charles, where I said he was being a or whatever, that was just comedy.
With this Def Noodles was his comedy.
He's like the original Too Lazy to Try. He originated this comedian critique niche of content before it got popular. Interesting. I know he hates Bert Kreischer, which I would agree.
Club. I'm a comedy club guy. He starts saying that he's going to be having roast battles at his brand new comedy club, and there's no comedy club. It's this small, cramped office. He saw that the back of his office had...
This is what I'm wondering. Where does this 30... I swear there was one where he said something to the effect of like 30. I thought he said something like there's 30. I'm expensing $30,000 a month. Maybe I'm hallucinating this. I swear there was something regarding how he's expensing $30,000 a month, and he couldn't keep up with that or something.
Room for maybe 30 people. He builds this comedy club and he thinks, I'm gonna have roast battles. If you got something to say, pull up, roast me, and if you can defeat me, the great comedian, then you could talk. If not,
this is where like Salvo pulled up and he punched him, right? Shoved him off the stage.
Came up with this idea that we would send Salvo out to Los Angeles to where I've been wanting to do this. I just like setting things up. This was our original plan. Let's make a simple list.
He has such a good voice.
Worst stuff Def Noodles has done. The worst stuff the clients have done. And then when you come on stage, just read the list. And what really brought this thing together was this idea we had to sell the tickets to our own audience. Okay. that how great will this be? He got word that we were doing it, of course, because it was public. And we just thought, if this all goes right, they show up, Salvo shows up, and the show is on, that should be funny enough, right? But we did some extracurricular gags. I said, Salvo, what if you show up in a really gaudy stretch limo? Done, easy, sold, booked. I really felt like I was in a movie working at one of those chic magazines in New York.
Salvo! 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 Salvo!
So this was great to see.
Patojo! Dennis! Anybody here for Dennis Noodles?
Oh, it's silent.
It's silent, Dennis! Make some noise! If you're here for Red Bar or Salvo Red Bar!
We're singing hum, going, oh, thank you. That's all we wanted.
And this is what blew up on Critical's channel. How many views does that have, by the way, at this point? I think it has like, I want to say like 10 million. Penguin Zero, Def Noodles. I want to say it's, oh, okay, I was wrong. 4 million, still a lot, but, and he made a bunch of them. I mean, we got this one 4 million views. This one's got 2.5. This one's got 3 mil. They were successful videos, dude. They were above average for Critical. This thumbnail, we watched this. He beefed with Critical, then he lost 99% of his audience. Have you guys seen there's like this market of videos on YouTube that are like, don't with Moist Critical? You always see it in the comment section of these videos. I did like the victims of Penguin Zero, and a lot of the comments are like, Charlie is too smart for you to mess with. He'll always own you. He'll always destroy you. He will always wreck your life. He'll always destroy you. Can you say the Fortnite word? Do you mean Chug Jug?
It takes to get to the stage. 1, 2, 3.
You know, we're sitting at home. We didn't know what was going to happen at this point.
This is tiny.
He's trying to get back into the back room here. So Def Noodles and all the other comedians, remember there's like 12 other comedians on this show, and they're all in the back like, what?
They're high.
Okay, so the stage is set. We're waiting for Def Noodles to come out, and at this point, we're going, how is he going to respond to what's happened so far?
So the next thing that happens is Def starts live streaming the roast.
We just had a guy try to break the entire building. This is how hype.
Wait, is that my boy? Is that YOLO Swag? That is him, yo. Shout out Zach, my goat. That is him. I think he texted me and he was there and he was like, this is nuts. Yeah, that is definitely him. Damn.
Hype you guys are. Come on, bro, please. LA, are you ready? LA, are you ready? Are you
Why did I
ready?
say my boy? What's wrong with me? My friend.
Ooh, imagine trying to start a show like, I mean, that would be the pits.
Please.
Kid Salvo.
Nothing. So the comics are scared. This is not what they
All right,
want.
bro, I guess we're going to pick out 2 names, and those people are going to battle it out for you, all right?
Make some noise for Dennis not being funny. Hey-oh!
God damn!
Evan wears glasses so people won't think he's threatening.
Evan wears glasses so people don't know how he's stupid. It's very.
All right.
Hold on.
Loser.
Improv comic. Good job, Dennis.
Shut the up.
I just want to apologize for the last battle.
This is a
Red Bar has that much pull. He can get all these people to go. That's crazy.
video roast battles, folks.
So the situation is, a lot of y'all is trolls, right? A lot of y'all is trolls.
If we were here, there would be nobody in the crowd.
Look at this. Oh my God! Did you see that? Wow. See, these are good. Okay, so
They're combative.
I was on the phone. Yeah. So here he comes, and boom. And I love how his salvo snaps back to he.
Really? What is she doing? She's got too many chins to be talking to me right now. This is up. No, I don't like it.
Just, she wants to talk so much. Bring her on stage.
She seems.
What you got, Mom? Spaghetti? Do you have like problems? Like, do you
I just feel bad.
I feel like it's very weak. It's just very unfunny. I know my sense of humor is, but it's very unfunny.
Good thing Salvo didn't bring his kids because they would have been long asleep by now. But...
Man, I wish I paid more attention to this than it was going on, because I remember when this was happening, I like kind of was mentally tapped out. Like I didn't care that much, but I feel like I wish I was more in it. Maybe that's a sign to pay attention to what Red Bar is up to, because it's interesting or something. But yeah, I wish I was paying more attention, because I remember even when the critical video came out, Nick was like messaging about it, like, oh my god, this is so epic, this is so funny. I was just like, lol, and I don't think I gave much more of a response than that. I got to take the Nick DMs more seriously, dude. He knows what's up.
We're gonna move on to the next act. No, this is great. We're gonna drop a ticket link to the
Whoa. She was mad. She dumped water all over him?
No, this is great.
She was actually pissed.
We're gonna drop a ticket link.
Oh my god. What a bitch.
No audio, Mike David, no audio.
Great, yeah. Tell Mike David to suck a dick. So close to finishing it. Unfortunately, because of how insane you've been so far, I can't just give you the mic. I'm being told by my friends who are experienced comics to not let you talk. Giselle will get a mic.
I'm being told by my friends who are experienced comics to not let you talk. Why even say something like this? Either just get security to kick him out or run with it. I heard once you go Dom Dark, you never go back from a friend. That's true. That's very true. Your friend was right, Spencer.
Should Sal get a mic? Give him the mic. You think Sal should
You never want to talk to me again.
have the mic? Why do you think you should have the mic?
Invited people to come and roast you. They're kicking my people out. My people are being kicked out right now, by the way. And I can't get the mic. That is Noodles. Is YouTube's biggest.
Doesn't he know all this is being live streamed? I feel like there's no reason to like try to do like a tough guy act or something like Def is doing. He clearly, look at how much he's sweating. He's having a rough day. I feel like he should have just rolled the punches a little bit and then it would have been fine instead of getting kind of egotistical about it. You should have just let it roll.
This is what we're gonna do. I just want to give Salvo a chance to get everything he's got to get out of his chest.
Def News.
He's probably himself. I mean, yeah. In fairness, I don't blame him. He's in an uncomfortable situation, but it's his fault that he got to this place, right? I assume Red Bar never would have wanted to, I mean, basically send this degenerate troll to mess with him if he hadn't been acting so silly and not calling out the clients, right? Thanks for the dollar, bro.
So what happened? So interesting enough, towards the end of the night, he started letting in the crowd for the second show so that he could get some support on his side.
As a comedian, aren't you supposed to just run with hecklers and riff off of them? You're kind of, I don't really know. I will say my one time, well, not the one time I went to a comedy show, but one of the few times, the only time I went to like a smaller comedy venue, I heckled the guy pretty bad. Some part of me regrets it. Some part of me thinks it was really funny. Do I regret it? I don't know that I regret it. I probably wouldn't do it again. I'll say that, but I don't regret this particular moment because looking back, it is funny and it is a funny story. So I don't really regret it. But basically it was like this comedy club I went to. I was like shooting a video with this comedian. I don't think it's gonna make it in the video. Maybe someday if we have a Patreon, we'll do like the Patreon cut. But it kind of distracts from the story. But basically what happened is we went to this comedy club with a small comedian. She was really nice. We go there, we kind of go in this like back room and there's a few comedians there. And one of them, it's like a small club. It's like 3 stories up in this building. It's like a secret spot. And it's like a weed show. It's a weed show. And I don't smoke weed. So if I do ingest like any marijuana, I like am totally, I'm a complete idiot, right? I'm an asshole. I wasn't smoking weed, but there was so much weed in such a small room. There's so much green gas everywhere that I was just getting high by being there, by osmosis, right? Despite I didn't want to be, I just was. Okay. So I'm getting a little ahead of myself though. We get to the club, we go to the green room. When I say green room, it's just a little room in the corner and there's like a curtain and then there's a stage. And we're in this room talking to the comics and we're just, talking around. I'm introducing myself because we're doing a video, we're being nice. And there's this guy there who's kind of being a dick. He's kind of being an asshole. He's like, oh, you're a YouTuber, and I get it, being YouTuber's corny, but he was like, I think he thought that I didn't really have an audience and I was just like around, which I mean, it's fine if you don't have an audience, it's totally fine. I wouldn't shit on anyone for having a small YouTube channel. But he was kind of trying to little bro me, right? He was trying to little bro me and he was like, oh, so you dropped out of school to do YouTube. How's that going for you? And I was like, good. And he was like, oh, like how many subscribers do you have? And I was like, I have 1 million. And he was like, oh, geez, I feel like I should have been nicer to you. Like he literally said that to my face. He was like, I feel like I should have been nicer to you. I feel sorry for being such a dick now. And I was just like, I was a little pissy, honestly, a little bit that he said something like that. I wish he would have just continued to shit on me if he thought being a YouTuber was corny, but whatever, he said that. And so I had my eye on him. I was like, this guy sucks a little bit, but I wasn't high at that point because there wasn't a lot of the people who were going to be at the show in the room smoking, right? But I was like, this guy kind of sucks. So eventually people come into the show starts. The comedian that I was filming a video on, she was hosting, and then there were a bunch of other comics, and that guy, I think he was the second comic in the row, and they would do 2 shows. It would be like there's one show with the audience, the host comes up, she tells a few jokes, does a little stand-up, introduces finishes, the next person comes on, the next person comes on, then the host finishes it, right? And the person, was he a successful comedian? No. His dad owned the club though. His dad owned the club. He's not. He had like 1,000 followers on Instagram or something. He was not like making it. But he was actually my age, which I was confused by because I thought he was way older. I thought he was like I don't know, like 30. So I was surprised to learn he was my age. But he's, you know, he's trying to make it a stand up, whatever. But the guy was really unfunny. I thought he was a really unfunny dude. And during the first, because there's 2 shows, like I said, during the first set, he's doing like a bit where he describes how he wants to date like a manly woman, right? He's like, I like a girl who can play pickup basketball and, you know, throw around the pigskin with me in the backyard, a girl who's, you know, a little stronger than me, something like that. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, this guy's gay. I was like, this guy's gay. And the thought was just like permeating my mind. I was like, you're just describing that you want to date a man, right? And I tell my cameraman, Lucas, who's with me, and he was like, yeah, you know, I agree with you. And I was like, maybe I should tell him. And anyway, the first show I didn't do anything. Show ends, audience leaves, the next audience comes up, and at this point I'm getting pretty high, and I didn't even totally realize how high I was. Is that not the joke? No, that is the joke. But I thought he was just gay, to be honest with you. I was just like, well, I didn't really think he was gay. I wanted to say you're gay. Like I wanted to say you're gay, and I thought it would be like a funny thing he would rip off of. Obviously, you know, I am heckling him, so he's gonna be a little bit mad. But I was like, okay, he's kind of unfunny. He's relying too much on crowd work. He's doing this bit. I should call him gay in my mind, okay? But I didn't do it that time around. My inhibitions were held into me, okay? They were held into me. I was not doing anything bad. Was his dad the headliner? No, his dad just owned the club. His dad wasn't even a comedian. I think his dad just owns the club and this kid runs it or something. Like he gets small comics from around. Anyway, second show starts and I'm getting pretty high at this point, okay? Everybody around me is smoking weed. It's going in my nose. It's just going in my nose. And like I said, I don't smoke weed, so I'm getting fucked up. I'm thinking thoughts more than I usually think. And he talked, you got revenge? You could say that. But so while he's doing that bit again the second time around, without even really thinking about it, like I wasn't even really thinking like, oh, I'm gonna get him or something. I yell out from the back of the room. I'm like, sounds like a guy. And he looks at me, he's shocked. He's like, what? And I'm like, you should date guys. I said pretty loud. And from what I remember, I didn't remember anyone laughing at the time. I thought nobody reacted. My cameraman said that everyone in the club laughed after the fact. I haven't even looked over this part of the footage, so I don't remember. I feel like it could have been completely silent and maybe that would have been funnier, but he said that everybody laughed at that moment more than anybody else in the room had up until that point from him. And I thought he would take it better than he took it. Obviously I was coming for him a little bit, but I thought he would take it a little better. I thought he would be like, nah, I'm not gay. Like I thought he would just like play it off in like a funny way and like maybe call himself a little gay, but he got very upset. He was like, what? I'm not gay. I just like manly guys. You wouldn't know anything about that because you don't date girls. And I was like, yeah, I'm an incel. And he was like, yeah, exactly. Well, I actually talk to women, unlike you. And they're still women. Just because they can play pickup basketball doesn't mean they're not a woman. And I was like, maybe he is actually gay. To call New Yorkers gay. He was from Boston. Well, I don't know if he was from Boston, but this was in Boston. But yeah, he got very mad. He got very upset at that. And I knew in my mind because he got upset. He was like, bro, not cool. Like he said something like that. He could have easily turned around and said, why are you single? I wish he had done that. I wish it was more of like, because it seemed like he actually got upset and he wasn't really making jokes at that point. He was just like very genuinely angry at me. And he was like, dude, what the f? You're gonna do this to me? Like he said something, I think something like that. And I was like, oh, holy shit. And I knew he was going to do some kind of dad talk to me. I knew it. I just from his face, from the way he looked, I knew he was going to do something. I remember telling my camera guy, I was like, I know when we leave the club, because there's like the stage and then there's like all the chairs and there's the back of it and then there's the door. And I knew he was going to stand there and try to talk to me or something, right? I knew it. I knew that was going to happen. So, and I specifically remember describing, I was like, he's going to put his hand on my shoulder and be like, hey man, that's not cool. Like I knew that was going to happen. Okay. I knew that was going to happen. You should have asked for his number when you saw him. Yeah, true. Honestly. He was actually probably gay, maybe. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Anyway, so the show ends, you know, I talk to some of the comedians, it's time to leave. I walk out to the front and he does exactly what I thought he would do. He comes up to me, he's like, hey man, that's not okay. I think he puts his hand on my shoulder. And my camera guy at that point, he was still filming, but it wasn't like we were really filming anything important. He was just technically filming, but he had the camera. And the guy's like, he like puts his hand on my camera guy's camera. And I will tell you this, if you ever touch a camera guy's equipment, he gets mad. He gets mad because my camera guy is an expensive camera. He doesn't like people touching it. He's not like a rich dude or something. So if somebody fucks up his camera, he's gonna be really pissed. And it's like a violation of your property, right? But he puts his hand right on the lens and my camera guy's like, whoa. He's like, don't touch the camera. He's like, off, don't touch the camera. And the guy is like, hey man, he was like, heckling's not cool. And maybe if I had been sober, I would have wanted to apologize or something more. I don't really know. But because I wasn't, because I was high as I was a complete dick. I was just repeating the questions back to him for my memory anyway. I was like, you can't heckle people? And he's like, yeah, it's really not cool. And I was like, oh, it's not cool? Like, I was being a complete dick. And this goes on for like, I don't know, a minute or something of me just repeating the questions back to him. And I was like, you know, I got to keep you on your toes. I think comedians have it too easy. You got to be kept on your toes. You know, the audience has to own you sometimes. And I was like, and then I finally gave a real answer at a certain point where I was like, well, I thought you were just going to riff on it. He's like, no, man, heckling's like not cool, man. And I was like, okay. And then he was like, he said something about, I don't know where the conversation got to this point. It was a pretty brief chat, but it was something to the effect of like, you shouldn't go out of your way to disrespect this art form that I'm studying. And I was like, oh, brother, he's so pretentious. I remember just thinking like, that is the gayest thing I've ever heard. And then after that, he was like, well, just to let you know, just don't come back here, man. And I don't remember if I said in my mind the totally cool thing to do, and I was high, so I don't have a perfect memory. In my mind, the totally cool thing to do would have been like, you're totally unfunny, so I'm never coming back. But I think what I actually said, was much more short. I think I was like, don't worry, we won't come back. And then we left. So yeah, that was basically it. But yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened. I don't think I regret it. I don't think I would do it again, but I don't think I regret it just because I think it was really funny, and I kind of don't care about that guy. And he did try to own me before with the YouTube thing, so I had to get him back. But that's my experience, and it's all on video somewhere on my camera guy's hard drive. So maybe sometime I'll rip it out or something. But yeah, every part of the interaction was filmed. Yo, what's up, Willie? Willie, what do you think? Was I an asshole, or did I do the right thing? What do you think? Honestly, if your heckler gets more laughs than you, maybe being a comedian isn't for you. I mean, I would agree, but I don't actually remember if they laughed is the thing. At the time, I had such tunnel vision on his face. Like when I said it, it was just like whoosh. Like I feel like I could see him clearly and perfectly. So I don't really know. I don't really know if everyone laughed. My camera guy did, but he was also high, so I don't know what his recollection is like. So I got to look at the footage sometime. But yeah, it was a pretty funny night. I remember after that happened, I remember feeling a little bit epic, honestly. I remember feeling like I won in some way. So yeah, that's the heckling story. Sorry to get so off track, but that is the heckling story. Thanks, Fly Navy, for becoming a member. You're 100% not in the wrong. Like I sounded like a bozo. Yeah. Hopefully he'll get a better heckler next time who's more mean. So he'll develop his comedic prowess a little more. Was it Comedy Mothership? No, it was not. It was like a very small club. Like there was one guy there who was genuinely funny. He was the last guy. He was this like fat black dude, and he was genuinely funny. He had some bit about how his like retarded cousin just got happy when he saw tits or something. He was pretty funny, but I don't remember any of the other people being that funny, apart from the comedian that we did stuff with. But she wasn't really doing a lot of stand-up. She was the host. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that heckling story. I'll try to do more story time videos because I know I haven't done them in a while. Maybe I'll turn this into a clip for the channel.
The stream cut. Technical difficulties. We had no more. So here's what happened right after that.
Tiny Tim.
Mayhem.
Who is Tiny Tim? Who is Tiny Tim? They're saying he looks like this guy. Oh, I know this guy. He did like the SpongeBob song, right? You can see how much of a zoomer I am because that's my only reference for this. Yeah, he doesn't really look like Tiny Tim.
Hey, get the cameras off. Get the cameras. This is what happened. That's Noodles. Remove me from this club. This is what happened.
Thanks, Vince.
This is what happened. I pulled up and he shut up.
After the roast, listen to this. After the roast, he hopped in his car and drove to Las Vegas because he claimed he was booked at the LA Comedy Club in Las Vegas. They called the LA Comedy Club. All the people, not us, but everybody called. Nobody's heard of him there. He's not booked.
Yeah.
So I guess his idea was he was going to drive to the
I wonder if he's talked about that since then. Has he admitted to lying about it?
LA Comedy Club and hope for a guest spot. So this is a whole nother. That's why I said you'll be stuck in the weeds with this guy
too
forever.
Exhausting. Like
Mike, this was amazing. Thank you. Oh, I'm so glad.
You're amazing.
Thank you, guys. And a round of applause for everybody who went out to make this. And remember, this is the end of the Deaf Noodles story. I believe we've made a statement.
That was a good video. That was a very good summary. I guess we can go back to watching Nick's now, but yeah, we can see here, this is like there's a lot of red bar content here. 2 hours. I do appreciate it being shortened for Zoomer minds like myself. That was a good video. That was a good little recap right there. Gotta watch some more of that Nick video though.
Quitting YouTube in 2019. Fair is fair, Deaf Noodles. In regards to the lawsuit with Deji, for those who don't know, in the UK, defamation cases are notoriously easier for the plaintiff.
He never says the name Red Bar again. You mean deaf? Damn, you got destroyed. Tiny Tim's buried in the cemetery by my house, no cap, I can go his grave right now. Now we know where you live, buddy. Now we have a very approximate location of where you live, so just keep that in mind. OPSEC not on top.
To win, as opposed to a similar type of lawsuit in the United States.
Tiny Tim like covering women of the night in peanut butter? What? He enjoyed covering naked girls in peanut butter? What the f? Ukulele Underground Forum? What is this? His diet consisted of raw potatoes, beer, and jars of tomato sauce. He ballooned 250 pounds. According to Rotten.com, most reliable source ever. He enjoyed covering naked girls with peanut butter, but would not have sex with them. That would be a sin. He refused to use hotel towels, using paper towels instead. What a weirdo.
United States. Deji used the legal system to silence his detractors, and to this day, he has received little criticism for this. The irony of this entire situation is that Def Noodles couldn't comprehend the concept of Cavos' game show, but he commonly expresses discontent with the fact that the internet doesn't understand his poorly thought out satirical news gimmick. This is a subject we'll explore in great detail through the video, but in the meantime, I think the best place to start with Def Noodles is by dissecting the quality of his news-related content. On December 1st, Def Noodles reacted to a video made on him by a small creator named Grady Hooper that had 14 views at the time.
Oh my god, Grady Hooper. Is this the same guy that went to the he like with the H3 podcast crew or something in public? This guy, yeah, Grady Hooper H3. It was like the old man Jimmy guy or something. Is it not Grady Hooper? I thought it was him. Maybe I'm wrong. Does anyone in chat know the lore I'm talking about? Maybe I'm thinking of a different Zoomer with a Bryce Hall haircut or whatever. He kind of looks like Nick. He kind of looks like unfat Nick, honestly.
Ironically enough, the first lines of this kid's script read as, Def Noodles is the newest Star drama channel, but he's extremely sensitive for a critic. And Def Noodles' reaction to hearing that was to tweet it out to his entire audience with a passive-aggressive caption, essentially proving the kid right. This led to a full meltdown where he calls Cavos a fascist, and
did he good look if you're a fascist? Oh my god. Why did he call Cavos a fascist? Because I would assume he would call like Augie a fascist because Augie's edgy or something, or I'm edgy or Nick's edgy, but not that that's right, but that's kind of his thinking. But why did he call Cavos a fascist? I feel like Cavos is, I mean, he's relatively tame.
In my opinion, tried to paint the entire commentary community as racist. This topic is pretty hilarious, and we'll explore it in great detail later. Moving on June 5th, Def Noodles posted a very positive tweet in support of Sky Jack.
Oh, this was the girl. Was she doxing someone for saying, what was it guacamole penis? Is that what she was? I think I made a video about this a long time ago. Yeah, this video.
Hello, Tom Darkers, and welcome back to the Tom Dark channel. I'm your host, Tom Dark, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about a website a lot of people have mixed feelings
on. How do I sound like Jormy49 here?
On Twitter. I've been using Twitter for like 5 years or so now, and I'm not going to be one of those people who makes a video that's like, Twitter sucks. Twitter, it's a cesspit. Because there are some genuinely pretty funny moments that I've had on Twitter that I think of fondly, and I continue to use it for that reason. It's also pretty useful for promoting videos.
Nice audio editing there, dumbass.
Pretty big following online. And about a year and a half ago, she got into some because she started tweeting out people's doxes. Many of these people were in middle school and high school. In late May and early June 2020, Jackson made several posts to her social media accounts, primarily Twitter, requesting her followers to share examples of racism.
Oh, yeah. That was a funny era, and Def Noodles defended that, obviously. Why would he not?
Jackson, who was using her platform at the time to dox people, including children. And I'm
you
sure
sound like Boogie2988 now, based.
Def Noodles is aware of the severity of her actions, as he ended up reporting on them later. The initial tweet is still up, so who knows if that's his current stance. His Twitter account itself is a personification of the annoying side of cancel culture. And if you're not sure what exactly I'm talking about, this is what you could expect from your typical Def Noodles tweet. Who could have seen this coming? Some are noticing that Tana Mojo's new necklace has what appears to be an iron cross at the top of a marijuana.
Who could have seen this coming? This is the big thing. He was big on Twitter back in the day. I remember this. Who could have? Everybody's parroting. Who could have seen this coming? However, can I be determined to be a hate symbol one without swastika? I mean, he's right, but the phrasing here and the way he's portraying it is basically that she's a fascist or something, right? I would imagine Tana Mojo and whoever he was covering back then, if they saw these tweets, they wouldn't be very happy about that.
Wanna leaf. According to the ADL, the Iron Cross is adopted by neo-Nazis and white supremacists. However, cannot be determined to be a hate symbol when without the swastika. You know, it's not even the fact that the Iron Cross is still awarded. I feel like the only reason this was reported is because she went to one too many COVID parties. Like, boom, once you hit the threshold, now you're a Nazi. Or how about Def Noodles' critique of Jason Nash for dating his 23-year-old, quote-unquote.
Jason Nash's alleged girlfriend Rachel Velasco was a super fan in 2019. Jason Nash, if you watched this, I'm crushing on you. Jason and Rachel were recently allegedly filmed together by paparazzi having heated discussions in Jason's car. But she's 23. She's 23. I always hate this. I understand. I mean, obviously, if you're grooming a child, that's bad. But people always try to make the argument that if you're 23 years old, you can't date like a 40-year-old man. You probably shouldn't. It's probably not the best thing in the world for you. But you're not being groomed. This isn't the act of a pedophile. You're an adult.
Super fan of a girlfriend who posted a video in 2019 simply stating that she was crushing on him.
But I just know that Jason was like, after a lot of time.
Jesus Christ, does she ever stop talking? I should cut this because people are gonna click off the video. Like, oh my god, shut the f up!
And like, I have a huge crush on him.
Oh no, guys, how could she have
Power
consented?
dynamic.
Def Noodles' coverage against
The
David
power
Dobrik
dynamic.
has also been particularly interesting, as he previously advocated for sponsors to drop both David and James. On the timeline, you can find Dennis directly advocating for sponsors to be removed from creators. This notably came before the Insider article was even released that escalated the drama. You can also find Dennis doing play-by-play, announcing which sponsors have dropped David in multiple different tweets. You can also find Def Noodles being unsatisfied that some creators are losing sponsors, but others aren't. And you can even find Def Noodles advocating for and linking his audience to platforms that have yet to demonetize David Dobrik, just to make sure that job gets done. This isn't even isolated to James and David either, because he also promoted various K-pop related tweets to his followers that were calling for Keemstar sponsors. Def Noodles subtly got his word in by quoting verbatim their call to deplatform Keemstar and get his sponsors to pull out. He essentially checks off all the required boxes that make up the archetype of a scumbag online. But just to continue today's meme, we could talk about the video where he takes
Biggest cope tweet ever. Me, laughing emojis. My haters. And look at where he is now. Maybe I feel a little less bad for him. Still don't think he should be going through what he's going through mentally, but seeing all of this makes you feel less bad for him when you're reminded of it, you know?
Aaron and Carly from the Vlog Squad wildly out of context.
Does Nick really look like that avatar? Yeah, you mean, is his skin like, is this pink or purple? Pink. Is his skin pink? And is he dripping? Does he have completely white eyes? Yes.
Create a narrative
He does
that
look like
just
that.
isn't there in the source material.
Anyway, folks, as David's sandcastle crumbled, the Vlog Squad members Aaron and Carly ended up uploading a video addressing the situation.
We have been getting a lot of comments and messages this past week
human
about
gumball, sure.
our involvement with the Vlog Squad, and I just want to make it clear, like, we've seen stuff saying like David hasn't allowed us to talk about it, or we're legally not allowed to talk about it. And
What is happening, folks? Is David Dobrik really relinquishing the death grip that he has on his cult? Vlog Squad members should watch their back and maybe not drink David's Kool-Aid for a few days.
From that clip, I imagine your takeaway was that David is controlling all these people and making sure they're not allowed to
Yes,
speak.
that's the
I mean,
takeaway.
Def Noodles does mention cults. The implication is that he's being pretty manipulative behind the scenes, but this is actually about as charitably clipped as one of your generic live stream fails clips.
I just want to make it clear, like, we've seen stuff saying like David hasn't allowed us to talk about it, or we're legally not allowed to talk about it, and like,
or like no one is telling us right now that we can talk about it. It's just been a lot.
We've just been taking this time to really process this whole situation ourselves. And
When they're talking about this situation, I think they're referring to the whole thing was is it Dirty Dom was accused of Cavos' daughter or Too Mad's son? Probably Too Mad's son. Not Dirty Mom, Jesus. Dirty Dom. Dirty Dom, what actually happened with David Dobrik and past allegations.
You're 20, right? 20, 21?
Well,
Like,
I came here when I was 18. So backstory about me, I met David in high school when I was...
What the hell? I'm sorry. Are we ignoring the sexual assault and pressuring women to drink and have sex? Who cares how old they are? It's disgusting that y'all gave him a platform to tell what really happened. I mean, I think we should hear what really happened.
16. He was doing Vine. I was doing YouTube videos, right? I was the only other kid doing YouTube before YouTube was cool, before people were like, yo, you're a...
Dirty Dom allegations. David Dobrik deleted video. This is the girl Dom, they say. David Dobrik berated by ex-fan over sexual abuse claim.
There's a time and place for everything, bro.
A former David Dobrik fan released a video of him confronting David about the events that
Welcome
led
to
to the
TMZ.
sexual assault accusation against Vlog Squad member Dirty Dom. Let's get into it. As fans know, David Dobrik has been involved in quite a few extremely upsetting scandals this year, one of which involved multiple allegations of sexual misconduct against various members of his Vlog Squad. But before we continue any further, we just wanted to issue a trigger warning. As we'll be discussing serious topics in this article, like sexual view in case you want to watch to catch up and garnering millions of views on his recent videos. So when one former fan named Javier Aliaga ran into David and his former assistant Natalie, he decided to confront him about the sexual assault allegations and David's involvement in the situation. Javier posted a video of himself confronting David about what happened with Dirty Dom.
Who gave the alcohol to the young girls at that night? You're asking a crazy question that literally we don't know that. Somebody does. And your return was just so, it wasn't the time and place to do that.
After David said Javier was asking a crazy question, Natalie chimed in saying that this fan doesn't know the details of anything and called what he was saying a really weird conspiracy theory. As fans know,
To this day, I gotta watch a video on this or something. To this day, I don't totally understand why people say that David was responsible for this. I know he did do the thing with Jeff Wittick where he hit him with a crane or whatever and smashed his face open, but I don't know why people say that he is responsible for what happened. I'm very curious as to why they say that. So I gotta update myself on that at some point. Because when it happened, I just saw it as like women drama and I never really looked into it. I assume that's the case for a lot of my audience too.
Decide how we were going to talk about it because it is a very sensitive thing.
As you can see here, Def Noodles basically reshaped the entire nature of this conversation to create content, which seems to be a mainstay on his various platforms.
Please note that Def Noodles has not tweeted any of the old tweets of Trisha Paytas hitting on minors, because Trisha and Ethan Klein literally own this man. He is their property.
As we will discuss in detail as the video progresses. It's important to note that more people are finally starting to understand just how insufferable this guy is.
Def Noodles covers the story today, and he takes that clip out of context. He made it seem like these girls were saying David told them to be silent. Bro, I'm telling you, like this entire drama commentary.
Keepstar, have you just discovered Def Noodles? I mean, this is what I'm about to ask.
While David Dobrik is a pretty easy villain of the week to talk about, and most agree that he should be condemned, Def Noodles still manages to this up. This guy just
Cavos' daughter or Flamenco's son? Probably Flamenco's son. Probably. I feel like Cavos is worst case scenario. Yeah.
seems to struggle even when he's echoing the popular opinion of topics that are supposed to be slam dunks.
He allegedly had a part in planning the entire night, filmed it, uploaded it for millions of people to watch, and then made money off of it because he's way more likable. Look at those big brown eyes, folks. Plus, monetizing trauma is his business model.
Dennis, come on, man. This video has ads on it. Not only that, your last 8 videos have David Dobrik in the title. That's 8 in about a week, and if I keep scrolling, you have plenty more. Not only that, you censored the word abuser, so your video stays in the algorithm and monetized, my dude.
And I just hope that her abuser gets, to face the entire full consequence of all of this.
I agree 100%, folks.
If someone wanted to swing a stupid allegation like monetizing trauma for views, I think your channel is the example. Maybe I would pivot your argument. When covering Pyrocynic, oh my god, that ratio. It's okay, Dennis, we've all been there, but let's see if he's actually earned it. When covering Pyrocynical, Dennis starts off the video by taking a shot
Huge apology, self-own, lol.
at, well, every other YouTube commentary channel who's currently covering the story.
Well, that's unusual. I heard all that stuff on the internet, so you know what that means, folks. It's 100% true across the board with
Was Def Noodles on my side somewhat? I didn't even remember this.
no nuance to it whatsoever. And I don't even need to hear Pyro's side to make up my mind because I'm a YouTube commentator, and I'm just going to go along with what everybody else is saying and not stick my neck out because I'm too scared to think for myself. And yes, I am as smart as a block of wood.
I feel like this blow is actually kind of funny, but the issue I have with it is the video that comes after this segment is terrible. Like it or not, if he put out a good video and slammed the community, I feel like this would have been a pretty dominating performance by Def Noodles. But he just doesn't, so he sounds like an idiot. Let me explain. Naturally, when a bunch of YouTubers try to talk about the law, it's a disaster. That shouldn't come as a surprise because this is a community where most haven't attended college, some haven't finished high school, and the vast majority of us have never stepped foot in law school. Def Noodles brings up 2 sources to discuss sexting laws, the first of which is a post, "Is sexting illegal?" from a law firm's website called Coxwell & Associates.
Is sexting illegal? It is important to know that while sexting between consenting adults is not illegal, sending or receiving a sexually suggestive text or image to or from a person under the age of 18 is considered exploitation or child and can result in criminal charges.
This isn't too egregious, as he's just presenting what sexting entails in the segment. However, if one were to actually find the blog post and continue reading, this is a post about former politician Anthony Weiner, and this post is a great source if you'd like
I did already watch the new Lex video, yeah.
to read more about how a case like this would be handled in Mississippi. Keep that in the back of your mind for just a second. He also showcased some statements from lawyers.
So let's see what some lawyers had to say about a similar situation.
Is there any law against sexual talk with a minor online?
I feel like the problem with this is arguing legality can be important, but it's never the most important thing. The most important argument in my mind should usually be morality, usually, with any of these situations. Because, I mean, technically a lot of stuff that YouTubers do can be perfectly legal, or anyone does. It can be legal, but it can still be wrong, right? Like, if the age of consent in a state is 16 and a 30-year-old man a 16-year-old, you'd still say that's wrong, even if it's not illegal in that state.
Not asking her to have sex, just roleplay sex online. Yeah, this happened. I was talking to a 16-year-old. We did roleplay sexual fantasy. I also wrote nonfiction erotica for her about a sexual encounter with a minor. We didn't meet. We only traded a non-sexual profile pic.
Am I having deja vu, folks? Because that sounds exactly what Pyrocynical is going through, especially if those profile pictures are furry pics.
Okay, so this is where it really goes off the rails.
I didn't even remember him covering this at all. My mind is blown.
The lawyers he's talking about are the good people from Avo.com.
Age honestly doesn't matter. Very funny, Katsuflog.
For those who aren't aware, Avo is literally the legal alternative to like Yahoo or Google Answers.
Very frequently, those defendants went to prison for a very
I watched videos of the Michael Alberto drama yesterday. That whole situation was hilarious. Yeah, it definitely was funny.
long time.
Wait, hold on, folks. That makes absolutely no sense. Why would an adult go to jail for sharing explicit text messages with a minor? They're just text. Now, I may not be a lawyer, but this next guy is, and he makes some pretty good points.
He couldn't even phone up a real lawyer for the sake of the segment or contact a YouTube one from the community. On top of that, the person asking is from Kansas. The first lawyer who's replying is also from Kansas, and the final one is from Boise, Idaho. So we have Kansas, Idaho, and Mississippi. For those who don't know, Pyro's from the UK, Ivory Rasmus is from Pennsylvania, and at the time, this wasn't even in the hands of the police yet. On top of that, the third example that Def Noodles is showcasing is literally just a guy talking about how this works down in Idaho. None of these state laws are relevant to the discussion of what's happening, or rather what isn't happening to Pyro, but do you know who knows this best? Oh, it's Def Noodles.
Seems like both in England and in Pennsylvania, where Pyro and his underage friend are respectively located, they're not really looking to prosecute people who are not exchanging images, but only having explicit conversations, even though the law seems really vague in that sense.
Wait, so Def Noodles conceded that the locations that are
Yeah, I think there was never any chance of Pyrocynical going to jail for that. Still wrong that he did that, but there was never any chance.
Actually relevant likely wouldn't prosecute Pyro in this segment before what I just showed you. So this entire video is, hey, this probably won't happen, but here are some lawyers online that agree with me from Avo.com to try to inject something into the conversation. I think my favorite part of this whole thing is when he ignores the disclaimer under each lawyer's post, where they both clearly indicate that these messages are not legal advice and that they don't prove the basis for making decisions about the course of legal action. Once again, I agree with Def Noodles that Pyro should have checked the age of the people he engaged with. But when I say that out loud, I don't need to gloss over the relevant information and highlight something that I know is irrelevant to the actual discussion and manipulate the situation. Def Noodles is the legal alternative of a guy who thinks he has cancer because he just Googled what a stomachache could mean and self-diagnosed. So I think through these examples...
I mean, you can Google legal shit. You can Google legal stuff that's going on. Like, you can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to always consult a lawyer, but you have to actually read. You have to actually read it instead of just reading the first result on Google. You have to, like, look into it.
I've effectively laid the groundwork to establish that Def Noodles is at best pretty stupid, and at worst, he's dangerously biased to the point of manipulating narratives. But Def Noodles isn't just a YouTube news channel. Dennis is also a proud satirist, and I'd love to spend a little time talking about my favorite joke he's ever told. Alright, calm down, Rick and Morty fans. This one's an extremely intricate joke. The setup is Def Noodles calling Jon Swan an alt-right YouTuber over and over again.
How's that a joke? What's the punchline?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Dennis. The punchline is...
Oh my god, was this before the Jon drama? April 2nd, 2021. When was the Jon Swan stuff? Jon Swan. 3 years ago. So this was March 8th, 2021, and this is April. So this is pretty soon after that drama. Damn. The whole Jon saga is interesting. I kind of want to watch this video back again and just talk about what happened. Because Jon was like the biggest up-and-coming commentator, and he really fucked it up. He ruined his credibility. I feel like at this point, if he came back, he could be fine. Just almost February? Okay, gotcha.
Check it. Oh, I think I got the fever. I'm heated. Pumping up the meter. Roll me a ringleader, bad party bleeder. Take us with a storm. Lead after leader. Hey, can you dig it? I come alive, y'all, give me what you got. Back up, pump, shake up, pump your fist up. You drink the shot of the buckshots, a bus slipper. Gonna make it feel alright. Pump it up all night. Body rock, show me what you got. Make Dobrik. Slipper. Gonna make it feel alright. Pump it up all night. Body rock, show me what you got. Make Dobrik. Hey.